In a world called Galarian, evil thrives and heroes rise. Sound like a heavy metal song from the 80s, don't I? Greetings, fellow singers. Welcome back to Roll the Hard 20 podcast. It is I, your trusted GM, Brian, welcoming you once again to another episode of our Dragon's Demand run-through. You know, this is our full-length episode, not ever, but with our newest hard slinger joining us in the digital rage room, David Radke. And let me tell you, he and the other hard slingers got on like a house on fire. Yeah, just like they say down under. Sorry, Australians, Aussies, I hope I don't offend you. I love you each, I love you all. Anyways, all that being said, we're just having fun. Hey, I want to remind everybody that if you are enjoying the show, remember there's a couple different ways that you can help out the show. First and foremost, always tell a friend or a family member and anybody that would enjoy having a great time laughing. You know, just mention it to us. Say, hey, you know what? Let me take your device. Let me subscribe for you. Don't forget, leave us that 5-star rating and review. Second, visit our Patreon page at patreon.com/rollthehard20 podcast. For as little as $1 a month, you too can help out the show and keep these lights on, because otherwise it's going to look like this. It's going to get kind of dark. I know you can't see that because it's an audio podcast, but on YouTube you could see me do that. You know how you do that? You head on over to YouTube and subscribe to the show at Roll the Hard 20. Smash that like bell, subscribe to the show, and we will be there for you each and every week. So, without further delay, I want each and every one of you to listen to how the newest hard slinger interacts with the hard slingers. Episode 32 of our Dragon's Demand run through. Enter Dempsey. Enjoy, everybody.
Okay, I like that.
Well, I like that too.
We're liking it.
The shocker.
So how is everybody doing?
Doing
I'm
good.
stellar. I literally just got in from work and then sat down and got on the call with you guys. So that's fun.
Well, I'm going to lead us in real quick because we have a new face sitting in the digital rage room. Greetings, fellow slingers. Welcome back to Roll the Hard 20 podcast. It is I, your trusted GM, Brian, and with me, the hard slingers.
Yeah.
And as everybody may notice, we have a new face sitting in our digital rage room behind the virtual eye of destiny. We have David Radke joining us as one of the new hard slingers in the ad hoc chair. Yeah, give this guy a big welcome.
What's up, everybody?
Trying really hard not to throw up any gang signs.
And as you know, we are missing the mannequin who is no longer with us. There goes his mark. Welcome to the show. So, when we last left off, you individuals had found yourself in the Grey Hands Tavern trying to get Gregol? What the hell is this guy's name?
Gregol
Lenton to give you the blueprints to Hunclay's Manor. And as you guys are sitting around this table, you notice that he's slowly starting to come back to sobriety. You see Sirkin just had his ass basically wiped for him back at the Blood Vow Lair. He's watching the three of you almost in a not such an aggressive manner interrogate Grengol, basically trying to get him to give you this blueprint map. And you see Sirkin kind of push himself away from the table, go to the bar and just lean against it and basically tune the other three of you out. And as you're talking with Grengol, I would like for the three of you to make a perception check.
What could possibly be going on here?
Stabi.
21.
21. Holy shit. Warren.
Yeah, but that was never mind. 21.
Warren.
That is a 13.
Flint. Flint hard shaft.
23.
23. Yeah, get those out now. As you guys are trying to get this weathered stonemason to give you information, you happen to notice that at one of the tables is a certain individual with a drink in front of him. Only he's not drinking this drink. He's actually watching the three of you talk to this old man. He's kind of got his head down. Doesn't want his face really to be seen, but you notice that he looks like quite the scrapper. You notice he's got calluses on his hands. You notice that he's got a type of build about him. In fact, I don't know if you guys ever seen American Ninja. Remember Michael Dudikoff?
Yeah.
This guy kind of looks like Michael Dudikoff, but with longer hair.
Young Dudikoff.
Young Dudikoff.
Yes.
And he's watching the three of you very intently. And Grego looks at you, Flynn, and says, like I said, I've got a copy of the original blueprint, but I mean, obviously I don't go carrying that shit around with me. It's that I don't have it on me. It's back at the guild hall, Mason's guild hall. And it's, if I go back there, they're gonna want to know why I'm back there, and they're gonna want me to go back to work, and I'm gonna have to answer to the foreman there, even though I run the place. But I don't know how we're gonna get you the blueprint of Hunkley's Manor.
Well, here's a question. Would you also have a hand in perhaps salvaging and removing the debris from Hunkley's tower?
His tower fell, or that just the witch tower fell?
The witch tower. I would imagine, if nothing else, that the Masons Guild might have the opportunity to have a hand in it.
You're talking about clearing away the debris, right?
Yes.
Yeah, but the stone's already busted up and the wood's all shattered. It's not like the World Trade Center where we could just send the stuff over to China and make toys out of it. I mean, it's garbage at this point. What am I going to do with it?
Well, how would you know if you didn't see?
I heard about it, and at one point I did kind of go over there with a group of people. You probably didn't notice me because I was so less inebriated with the rest of it. I watched you guys actually descend down into the tower. Actually, I didn't see you there. Fanciful
I was going
pants.
to say.
Saw you come out. I imagine, I don't know what's, but anyways, what would be your motive for having me go to this collapsed witch tower? What's the purpose? Just tell it to me straight. But he kind of looks around while he's sitting at the table, and he notices this individual watching you guys as well. He's like, "Hey, is that guy a buddy of yours? And what's up with the other guy?" He just got up with a disgusting look on his face. I know I haven't showered in a couple of days, but I'm not that offensive.
Yeah, we should do something about that. And at that, Warren just points at him and starts from the head and just goes all the way down, and all the grime comes off him.
I'm gonna need that hand in about an hour and alone for a while. Just a few minutes is all I'm asking.
Oh, well, you couldn't afford it.
Well, I'm
At
not
any
gonna
rate.
argue semantics about it, but is he with you back there?
I think when that happens, you might notice my character at the magic use is kind of, his calm breaks a little bit. So you kind of see the head come up and the eyes open, and then he kind of goes back to his previous kind of cool demeanor.
During this exchange, you see Swirlo come back in from the back door, who's the bartender there. He leaves the door open to try to get some ventilation going through the bar. And he starts stocking the shelves back up with refilled bottles at this time. Whereas before they were kind of half full, and now they're all kind of full. And he's going through it, and then you see him go back out the back door, probably to go get more supplies. Supplies! Anyways.
UHF, good one.
Never saw it. Sorry. Oh my gosh. The look of death.
Warren will turn to look at this this unknown person and just kind of nod a brief greeting to him, and then will take a moment and look over at Sirkin at the bar curiously, and then look to the others and kind of with a inquisitive expression, like inviting comment from Flit and Stabby.
Stabby looks at Warren and says, I don't know why we didn't kill him earlier. He's been dragging us down through this adventure.
Well,
What are you talking
I
about?
took him as a regular party member of yours when you unearthed me from the ring. He was the one who actually released me.
That mean you've shown your worth in the party. He has not.
You see, he looks over his shoulder, hearing what you're saying, kind of scoffs at you, and then actually walks out the back door, the same door that Swirlo had left.
Flint's gonna draw his attention to the guy that's sitting at the table with the full beer in front of him. So, son, how long have you been in recovery? I've noticed you haven't touched your beer.
I noticed
Okay.
as you take his beer from him and take a quick chug off.
I wouldn't
You
call
gotta
it
finish
recovery.
that?
He offers you the beer. More of in training, I'd say.
Clear mind.
It's not good to be inebriated, my coach used to say. Name's Dempsey. I think we have a friend in common. You know, the Baroness.
That we know we actually did some work for not too long ago.
Well, I
What
apologize
brings you
for
into
intruding.
Belhaim?
Just on the move, looking for work.
How do you know of this Baroness? What is your connection with her?
I think just like you, she evidently after your showing the other night, she thought you might need some help.
Some help. We survived. What help do we need?
I don't know. Maybe I'll tag along and give my assistance. I know my way around a fight.
Should be careful how you speak with us.
I don't mean any
Look.
insult.
An extra hand is certainly nothing we would turn away, but I hope you negotiated whatever terms you need with the Baroness.
Yeah, nothing will come out of your pockets. Everything's been waged.
I
And
look
I apologize for interrupting your conversation you were having with the gentleman. I didn't want to intrude.
You also obviously didn't want to introduce yourself until prompted. But since you are here, and Warren gestures over to the seat where Sirkin had originally sat down with him.
So, are you guys done with me? Can I take off then?
Warren just actually
He's already getting up out of the chair.
Warren actually very specifically points a finger at him and says, "Until we have blueprints, we are not done with you."
All right. Kind of slumps back down, eating some more of the bread and the cold cuts. Look, I got to
whatever-
do some stuff. I got a nap I got to take, and
Whatever excuse you need to go to the Masons Guild is whatever you need. Do it. If you
Look,
bring...
if I show up there alone, they're just gonna put me to work. I'm gonna be stuck on the lot the whole day, doing inventory, getting stuff ready for the next job.
I thought you ran the place. What sort of boss are you?
I do, but these guys, they want to be paid, so they make sure that I'm there to do the stuff. They keep saying
Instead of
that they
drinking
gotta
their
feed
pay
their
away?
kids, and it's a little this and a little that. I tell you what, if one of you comes with me, then I could say that I'm doing the job for you. and then we can go in the office, get the blueprint, get out. But if I go in alone, it's over. I'm never gonna get out. I won't get out till 5, 6 o'clock tonight.
Well, we certainly wouldn't want that.
If anyone asks, just tell them it was a direct order from the Baroness herself.
The Baroness leaves me alone. You know, I built half of her manor back when she was a child. Back when her daddy ran the town. So I'm not worried about the Baroness.
I look at Stabby and Flint and our newcomer, and I just kind of like rub my eyes and I say, well, shall I be the sacrificial lamb?
If you go with me, there can't be any of that handy formula stuff, though, you know? You can't do that.
Oh, I'm sorry. The stuff that actually made you presentable?
Exactly. You know,
Or
they see you
else-
doing all that stuff, they're going to know the jig is up.
So as you guys are talking, Dempsey's just walked over and he just kind of like gestures at the empty chair, like, "It's still good?"
Sure, have a seat. You want some bread? Some cold cuts? Have some. Eat up, man. They won't get another round. What's that we say? Another round?
And he looks.
How about another round once we get blueprints?
You're in those blueprints, man. I'm here all day about that.
Look, you get the blueprints, and we will pay for your rounds tonight. If we get everything that we need from the blueprints, I will come here and I will pay for your rounds for a week.
Wake, you say?
A week.
Well,
After
what are we waiting for? Come on,
After-
Sparkle Hands. Let's do this.
Sparkle hands.
We got a date with the Masons Guild Hall.
Okay, well, I will be back. Apparently, I have volunteered myself.
So he leads you out of Gray Ann's Tavern, and you guys make a left, getting back out onto Devi Road. And as you guys are walking down together, that leaves Stebby, Dempsey, and Flint, hard drink, sitting behind in the tavern. Now, Stebby, you and Flint notice that Sirkin is gone. He just left. Couldn't hang anymore. But Dempsey doesn't know who he is. All he knows is that you guys are still staying behind at this point. As you watch Warren and Gregor take off.
So Stebby looks at Dempsey and he apologizes for his initial reaction and says, "Dempsey, we've been through a meat grinder the last few days here doing work for the Baroness. I have to apologize for my initial response to you, but we made it through the Kobold lair alive. So I took a little bit of offense that you thought that we needed help. We're happy to have you join and add some extra muscle, as I believe that our adventure here is going to get more difficult. So I hope that you accept my apology."
Absolutely, I appreciate it. Is your friend going to be okay with the drunk?
Warren can take care of himself. I have no concerns
That
about
you're
his
going to say
safety.
Gregor's not your friend.
Like, happy to make your acquaintance, and he just puts his hand out, shakes your, or if you'll have it, name's Dempsey. I'm from 4 towns that way.
As you grab his hand, Stubby, you notice that his hand is just like, it's like shaking a foot. I mean, it's just beefy for just a regular sized individual. I mean, it's just, some people just have strong muscular hands, and that's what his hand looks like, with calluses on the last 3 knuckles.
I've never had a girlfriend.
Like a baby's arm holding an apple.
Like a baby's arm holding a little halfling.
Little child's hand.
Yeah, I'm taken a little aback by the just the stature of his hand and the how worn it looks. But I extend my hand and nod, shake, and then take my hand back.
I think
In pieces.
Thank you. He looks at Flint and he says like hello in Dwarven. Just really broken. It sounds like crap, like it's something he's heard other people say. But he's just yeah.
At that point, his attempt of speaking Dwarven is brings a relief to him and makes him chuckle. And Flint happily extends his arm out to shake his hand.
So as you guys do your round of getting to know each other, we head back to Warren and Gregor.
Because what could go wrong?
Right as they start heading down Devi Road, you guys get down to Canticleer Road, which is right where the Wise Piper is on the corner, and you guys make a left and start heading down Canticleer Road. You know, are you sure you want to do this? I mean, who knows? And I don't mean getting the blueprints. I mean going to Hunclay's Manor.
Oh, I have things I'm interested in Hunclay's Manor. But that aside, the Baroness has actually requested that we go to Hunclay's Manor. We just want to know what we're getting into.
The Baroness. She wouldn't invite you in that old coot's house. Are you drunk? They didn't get along. That oil and water. So you guys keep making your way. You pass the Dodagian livery stables on the right, which is originally where you first came to. No, actually, you didn't, Warren. But it's where all the horses are obviously housed. And you guys keep going till you get to number 19, which is right across the street from the livery stable. And he stops, and you see that out of all the all the structures that are on this road, this is probably the most unusual. It's like they've used different angles to build the structure with all types of mosaic tiles and wood carvings into different birds and animals, and it just has this really rich look to it. All the wood is deeply stained, and he goes up to the double door and opens it up, and you hear, some of the hammers are going on in the back room, and you see this beefy, burly dude with a large barreled chest kind of look up as he's talking to one of the workers there, and he looks over and he's like, Gregor, where the fuck have you been? I was helping Swirlo at Greyhounds. Don't give me that. You know, you should have been here already by 6 o'clock in the morning. I've got all kinds of jobs. Look, just get on the floor, would you? Hang on a second, I got a job with me right now. Pulls out a flask and starts hitting it a little early. Hey, look, he's a paying customer. He's with Origina. And he asks if we could kind of get him an estimate together on whether to take the bill of shack just over the river here. Look, don't be taking too long though. We gotta get this job done, please. Yeah. Come with me, Snappy. And he takes you to a back office and he ushers you into the room and closes the door. Waits a moment and locks it. Look, this isn't gonna be one of those things. Are you sure you want the blueprints?
Why are you so worried about me having these blueprints?
Once I give them to you, you can't say you don't have them. And you should know that, like I said before, every stone that went into that artifice, Hunkley touched. And I know nothing good's ever going to come out of that place. You may go in, but you ain't going to come back out. Are you sure you want the blueprints?
Warren just kind of like twirls his finger around and like wisps of like fiery magic come flying off them and says, just because you do not understand something does not mean that nothing good will come of it. magic is a mysterious force, but it is, well, it is perhaps more complex than it is in many ways no different than a trade such as masonry. What do you think that
Stamps
some-
out there. He's the replacement foreman for the one I told you about during the
Mhm.
last session. The one that never came back.
Mhm.
I just, you've treated me
Look.
right. You bought me rounds.
Is that all it takes to treat you right?
Well, you didn't look down on me last time we met.
I think that you have your own ghosts that haunt you, and I do not know what they are, so I will not judge you for them.
He walks around his desk as you're talking to him.
Mhm. As such, you've also proven to be a reliable source of information, which I do respect you for. And I appreciate the fact that you are willing to part with these, especially because once you part with them, that means you no longer have to admit to having them.
And he's opening up a drawer as you're talking to him. I have a feeling that my time in this town is coming to an end. It's not what it used to be anymore. It's not fun anymore. Ever since Hunkley moved here a couple of years ago, town's not been the same. You see him kind of take some things out of the drawer, laying it up on the desk as he's talking.
Was that a gun?
Chekhov's gun. And he says, just promise me one thing. You'll take care of yourself and your friends. I'd hate to think I gave you your own death certificate by doing this. And you see, as he's talking, he removes a false bottom out of one of the drawers and puts it off to the side. Now, once I give this to you, it's yours. You understand, right?
Great.
And he hands you the map of the blueprints. Look, why don't you show yourselves out? All of
I
one of
will.
you.
I will flick him one gold coin.
You
Those
see
are
him
your rounds.
take it and turn away. Make a perception check as he does this.
Not my forte. 2.
2. He almost looks embarrassed. You hear a slight sniffle, but please show yourself out.
Before I leave, under the guise of taking a quick look at the blueprints before I actually roll them up and stash them, I'm going to try to, as discreetly as possible,
Knife him?
possibly under the guise of muttering while I'm looking at it, cast a quick detect magic spell
On.
myself so that I can detect magic. And
Oh,
I'm
okay.
going to specifically be looking at the blueprint just in case, and also specifically his desk and his belongings. I won't be able to tell much unless I actually stay there for a few rounds, but
Okay.
I'll at least be able to tell if there's magic there.
You don't detect any aura whatsoever.
Okay. Okay.
He turns around and he's like, just give me the dignity, please. And you see that he's got tears in his eyes. I don't want your sympathy. Just let me be, please.
You are an unusual and complicated man. Please be well with yourself and do the work that I know you're good at. And I'll kind of nod, turn, and leave.
He closes the door behind you and Again, you hear the hammers falling, and you see the foreman look at you and, what is that lazy bum? See you in the office. He walks over to the office all burly and, Randall, get out. And he opens the door and, what the fuck you crying like a fucking baby for? Let's go. And you make your way out of the Masons Guild Hall and back out onto Canticleer Road. Back at the Greyhands Tavern, Stubby, Flint, and Dempsey, you guys are waiting for Warren's return. After a few moments, you see a large man with a youthful face come in, look around, and you immediately recognize it's Arnold Devi. And he walks up to the bar. He sees you three together and walks up to the bar, and you see Swirlo come up and ask him if he wants something to drink, and they kind of talk back and forth. He gives him a drink and he starts drinking.
Like at this point, we'd all be
You said
talking
Arnold. What's his last name?
Devi.
Devi.
It's Arnold Devi.
The same Arnold. Yeah, I was gonna say it was
son of
Arnold
the
the
Baroness,
Bellhand
yes.
guy, right? Okay.
Stebby says, Arnold, come and have a drink with us.
No, thank you. I'm just here for something quick to wet my whistle, and then I got to get back out. Running a few errands. I just thought I'd stop in and say hi to Swirlo.
You can't, spend 5 minutes with us with a drink?
Where's your friend? I don't see him sitting at the table. Is he out in the back in the outhouse?
Which
And-
friend do you speak of? We had 2 other companions with us.
Well, I'm assuming it's the Warren. I already saw Sook, and he's wandering around. He's actually on his way out of Belheim. I saw him coming out of the Wise Piper Inn with his own bags. I guess he didn't want to hang with you anymore. Something you want to tell me? Maybe I could tell Mama.
No, I don't think it's important. We'll still continue and meet our obligation.
You don't need to talk about that in public. It's all right. We're okay. We don't need to talk about that. You know, I know. Because I'm Arnold.
Come and have a drink with us. Come and sit.
Make a persuasion check.
Persuasion check, huh?
Is that one of those?
Stevie, let's see if you can get him hammered.
Actually, I'm sorry. That is a
No.
5e thing. Why don't
Yeah.
you make a... Now, I told everybody, all of our listeners, we're going to have to learn some of these skills.
The diplomacy?
Diplomacy.
Yeah, diplomacy.
Good
Yep.
job, Flint. Make a
I
diplomacy
was looking
check.
for it. That's 12.
12. You want to aid him on that? Dempsey, Flint? Only one of you can do it.
I have a -2 to charisma, so
I'll try to aid him. I'm a 0, but I'll try.
Oh darn, your charismatic character's not there.
Yeah, but I rolled pretty fucking awesome.
Nice. You just gonna let that hang, or you gonna?
Nope, rolled a hard 20. I was actually just taking a
Buddy.
picture of it right now.
Yeah, baby.
Nice.
Bravo.
So he's like, "What the hell?" And he takes his ale and he comes over to the table, and pulls out one of the chairs and sits down alongside 3 of you. So, what are we doing? Anything new? Beautiful day.
So what brings you into town? What are you doing here today? You mentioned you're running some errands.
Yeah, Mama wanted me to go to Zenmei's Tonics, pick up some stuff for a headache. I just figured I'd head on over this way. I had to make a deposit over at the Grelin and Sons, part of the payroll. That's about it. I figured I'd come across the street and have a drink. Talk to Swirlo, see what's going on. At that point, you see Warren re-enter Greyhand's Tavern. And Warren, you see the three individuals you left recently, as well as Arnold Devi sitting at the table.
Warren comes in and from behind Arnold looks at Stabby and Flint and just kind of makes a Okay.
And while you guys are doing that, Dempsey, make an insight check.
Wisdom?
Was
Yes.
Perception, I think, covers it.
Yeah, I think so.
Do you want to do perception or wisdom?
Do a wisdom.
Wisdom is.
I'm sorry, sense motive.
Oh, fuck.
Still wisdom.
That's 12.
12. You see Arnold look at you briefly and then look away.
Can I try to catch his eyes?
You can.
I just slap him out of his face.
Tell me how you want to get his attention.
I'll just rap on the. He's not very smart either, so I'll just knock on the wood twice, just on the table right in front of him.
He kind of looks over at you.
His eyes, and just
You
kind of
see-
put it in my hands up, like what?
You see him like kind of rubbing his jowls, and then he moves his hand across his neck, like almost like a, no, like a cut off kind of emotion.
Okay. He just kind of sits back in his chair, and it maybe even reaches over and pulls the chair out for Warren, just to kind of mask what he's doing a little bit. How did it go?
Warren kind of nods. Oh, simple. Mr. Arnold, pleasure
How
to
did
see
what
you.
go?
Huh? Oh, just a quick errand. There was the concern that Hunkley's Manor might be have some sort of trap. As I'm sure you're aware, I have some knowledge of magic. I just went and just observed it with my sight briefly.
Oh, you went to the manor already? When you left your
Just-
comrades here?
Just taking a quick appraisal of it. I'm not one for drink myself.
With that, Flint wants to interrupt and ask Arnold, do you often run errands for Mama?
Well, she trusts me explicitly with the payroll and making sure that she gets the right herbs and spices for her headache. She likes to have the aroma in her reading room, and it gets me out of the house. It's a little exercise.
Spices for Mama.
Does Mama often suffer from her head pains?
At times, she gets feeling a little foggy in the head, especially when she doesn't go to bed till late at night. Sometimes she's up reading. She likes to talk, stuff like that.
Can I do a sense motive on Arnold after the questions I've asked him?
In what regard?
In regard, Flint kind of feels that his errands kind of aligned with all the areas or near the areas that they were recently at. Kind of like if he's checking up on them.
Checking up on the places, you mean?
On checking up on us.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
23.
It seems awfully strange that the places that he did frequent are places that you have been to, and that the final place he's at right now is the same place you guys are at right now as well. Because you guys have been to Zenmei's
We've
Tonics.
been to the bank. Correct.
And that was the individual that tried to buy Warren's ring a while back. You guys have been to Grellin and Sons, where you deposited the money. And here you are here at Grey Hands Tavern.
At Gray Hands, yeah. With that, Arnold, you might want to go check on Mama and see how those head pains are. And if there's anything else that she might need, I might have an antidote for her to help her relieve that pain.
I'd be more than happy to pass it on. Well, I guess I should be going. Swallow, thank you. I'll settle up later, and I'll see all of you on the flip side. And he gets up and heads on out of the bar.
Heads to the chopper.
Get to the chopper.
Chopper.
I go, how about the chopper? So once again, the four of you are now in the bar. Gregel's gone. Swirlo's still stalking the bar. Eventually, he closes the back door. Hey, you guys gonna be in here long? It gets kind of dead around 1 o'clock, and I usually like to close up until about 4 when things will start popping again.
Can you perhaps give us another 10 minutes and then we'll be out?
Sure, no problem. I'll be upstairs. I gotta bring down a few taps and kegs because it's too easy to store them downstairs, I guess. So he starts going up the stairs and doing whatever upstairs.
I turn to the others. I turn to Stabby and Flint and kind of just shake my head and then turn to Dempsey and say, well, since you seem to be joining us, perhaps we should do proper introductions.
I was thinking the same thing. And he goes to shake it, like holds his hand out. Apologize for not doing it earlier.
Sure. Warren looks at it for a moment, and then takes it and shakes it.
I was gonna think you're gonna use the mage hand to shake his hand.
Warren is very, very obviously an aristocrat in traveler's clothing. He's got that totally fine bone thing. His hair, even though he hasn't been in court in 200 years, looks perfectly coiffed. And just the way he speaks and even the way he has things on his belt is just a little too perfect. And he just realize that there's this crazy burly strange man across the table in this slightly seedy tavern who's offering his hand to shake, and he's like, okay, well, I'm here, and points at shaking your hand. And
on the flip side of that, when you said court, I thought of something completely different, so that's where I'm coming from.
Gotcha. And Warren just nods and says, I'm Warren. Pleasure to meet you. I assume that while I was gone, my companions were completely not rude and introduced themselves properly.
It's been a pleasure.
Warren, what did you find with Gregel at the stonemason?
Warren will actually pull out the rolled up parchment and actually lays it out and
excuse me while I whip this out.
Pretty much. Hey, Warren's great at fitting things into, small places, including himself. Anyways.
The back of a Volkswagen.
There you go. See? This guy gets it.
Oh, you got the map.
We did have the map. Gregel had an unusual reaction. So I'm a little concerned.
What do you mean you're concerned that I don't follow? I don't understand. We have the map.
He's a strange man to begin with.
He was expressing concern that this was a good idea, stating that nothing good can come out of Hunclave Manor. And it seemed fairly unusual. I have to wonder if he's dealing with some sort of guilt on some level with this, or if, I don't know, there's something else, some knowledge that he has that he doesn't want to admit to.
Do you get the sense that we're in danger if we go into Hunclave's Manor?
get the sense that we're in danger going into the manner of what is obviously a reasonably powerful practitioner of the arts who has dubious ties? No, not at all.
So Stabby places his hand on Dempsey's shoulder and looks at Warren and says, and pats Dempsey's shoulder and says, I think we'll be just fine with our new party member.
Of course, the man said it's pretty safe, so we'll be good.
Yes, well, we should get done with this task before the Baroness sends another watchdog.
A few moments later, you see Swirlo come back. You guys are still here? Oh, for fuck's sake. Come on.
10 minutes is 10 minutes. And Warren will leave an extra silver on the table for him.
Look at you just spending money all over the place. Holy shit.
Got to spend money to make money.
Stabby, not to be one-upped, flips a gold coin at Swirlo.
I mean...
So with that being concluded, what is it you guys would like to do at this point?
Well, right now it's what, like maybe noonish, 11ish? I mean, it's still pretty
12,
early,
12:30,
right?
somewhere in that time frame. Yeah.
Do we need to go back to the blacksmith? Well,
Warren does. He's got a rapier being
Warren's
made
got
for
some
him.
stuff, right?
Yeah.
It's been about long enough, right?
Yeah, it's probably been enough time. I think he said leave it with him for a couple hours. You guys had gone to the money changer, and you guys had gone to this place as well. So, plus that you also went to the
Mason Hall.
The Mason Hall.
We got to give Arnold somewhere else to follow us, right?
Yeah.
Let's go to some weird places. So he's just like, what are they doing? Like, why do they keep going back to this pigsty? What are they doing there?
You got a whole town.
Yeah.
Right.
Let's do some like crazy stuff.
Wasn't there, I don't recall, but I don't remember what the address was, but wasn't there a someplace where we could purchase potions and such?
Yeah, there was. Were you gonna say some more?
Warren?
Oh, me? No.
Yeah,
Sorry.
I thought I heard you say some.
No.
That would be
Sorry.
Zenmei's Tonics was the place where there were potions.
Okay. What was the address of that? I don't recall.
It was 5 Canticleer Road. Yeah.
As we're kind of going through all these places, Dempsey doesn't have anything to buy or purchase or anything like that. So he's just kind of like head on a swivel, just watching the crowds, watching if anybody's coming, and watching these three, and just kind of following along. He's kind of along for the ride, so he's just there.
So Warren, let's gather the items that you've purchased. I would like to run by Zenmei's and make sure that we've got some potions and such that may aid us in our rummage through Hunclay's manor.
Of course. Sounds like a good decision. And we'll head back down to the blacksmith.
You want to go to the
Bacchus.
blacksmith first, or you want to go
Bacchus.
to Zenmei's Tonics first?
We could go to Zenmei's. That'll give the blacksmith a little bit more time. So yeah, let's do Zenmei's first.
Okay. You find your way back in front of this quaint little shack. You open the door, and once again you see Zenmei of Demgazi stocking his shelves, hanging herbs and stuff, and he looks and he's like, well, hello, my friends. Oh, it's you again. Did you have a change of heart in selling me that ring of yours? Make
No.
an excellent deal.
I'm sure it is, but I'm sorry, it has too much sentimental value to me.
You know, my mother had a ring just like that, and she lost it so long ago, and she always swore that if she could find the ring or a replacement, that she would do anything. And unfortunately, it was a wish that she took with her to the grave, and it kind of became a quest of my own to undertake. And once again, like I said, if there's anything I could do to kind of sweeten the deal, please keep me in mind.
Of course. And I'll kind of make an after you sign to Stabby.
Zenmei, do you have any healing potions? Perhaps some night vision potions?
Well, I don't have any night vision, but I do have some healing potions. I recently concocted these. They should be well enough. I think they've fermented long enough. I got 3 of them right now. I got another 3 that are still in the vat brewing. If that's something that interests you.
How much are the potions?
Well, let me look it up for just a moment here. 150 gold pieces each.
Stabby says, "Whoa, that seems."
I would like to make an appraise roll on that price.
Okay.
Highway robbery.
Pretty much. That is a 23.
It seems excessively high.
Mm-hmm.
Supply
And looking
demand,
back,
baby.
you probably haven't seen a lot of traffic moving in and out of this store either.
Mm-hmm. He's probably trying to pick his gold up where he can.
So we got a
I-
deal, guys. What are we talking about?
I will make a no gesture, like with my hand to Stabby if I can catch his eye.
And you immediately pick this up from Warren. You know that he's probably thinking, this is a little outrageous now.
I say to Zenmei, you can tell by the way that we're dressed that we don't have a lot of money. Is there perhaps a cheaper price for these? And I'd like to attempt a bluff.
Okay.
That we do not have, that we're not of means to pay 150 per potion. I'm looking for something cheaper.
Okay. Go ahead and make your bluff roll.
Just wanted
I'll-
to get us through the night,
I'll-
baby.
I'll do it against my wisdom.
That is it's going to be a 24.
Ooh.
He is very understanding of your plight. You seem to be somewhat winning him over to a degree. And he says, look, I'm just a simple man trying to make it in this town right now, and things have been a little tight. Why don't you tell me what it is you do? Maybe we could work something out.
Zenmei, we're here just traveling through, trying to make a better life for ourselves. We stumbled upon Belhaim and we liked the town a little bit. We heard there was some trouble here, so we're trying to rid the town of some kobolds, the kobold raids.
I heard about that. Yeah, I heard that there was a skirmish over by the old quarry. Was that you guys doing that?
Yeah, that was us.
Very impressive. And you killed them all, huh?
We did, yes. But as you can see, we're a little worse for wear, and we don't believe that our time here is complete with kobolds. And I'd really much appreciate if you could perhaps cut us a little break on healing potions.
Well, let me ask you this. Tell me what you can afford.
I can do 75 per potion, 75 gold per potion.
With my roll, would I know what the actual value of a potion normally goes for?
It would probably vary based on whatever economy the town you were in would be in. Like some areas that are more downtrodden would probably charge less versus someplace like Magnamar, which is a more higher end city, would probably charge more. So based on that city's economy or town.
Kind of like a supply and demand type thing.
They got making potions over in shit. Metropolis? Going to the directory.
Absalom.
That's right.
Absalom, thank you. That's what I was looking for.
I was gonna say I don't think Superman needs one of those, but never know. I'll tell you what. I'll do 75 per bottle. But there may come a time I may need you to help me with something. Think I can count on you?
Help you how? What are you thinking?
Nothing comes to mind right now. It's just, I mean, there are times that I know that people try to jimmy the locks at night, try to get into my store. I would really like to teach these guys a lesson at some point. If you think that you might be able to help me with that, that would be great. Something along that line, you know? Maybe just teach them a lesson. A solid lesson, though.
You're not asking me to kill anybody.
No, not kill anybody, but I want to make sure that they have trouble getting out of bed when it's cold in the morning, that kind of thing.
You ever thought of getting a dog?
I had a dog. Unfortunately, my dog didn't make it because of these individuals. But yeah, I mean, I'd be more than happy to strike a kind of bargain with you like that if you're good for it. Sure.
What do you mean these individuals killed your dog?
Yeah, well, they kept breaking in my store, so I got a dog, and one night they came by. I came in the next morning, and they broke in the store, and unfortunately, they killed my dog too. And I keep trying to bar up the door, and I got to take these things home with me, and it's getting to be a real pain in the ass. And
Do you know who these perpetrators are?
Brian,
no, I don't. Yes.
That's a hard 20 on a sense motive.
He's being truthful. He is being truthful, and he wants retribution.
Do you know who these perpetrators are, Zenmei?
I don't, but and they're not like clockwork. They don't come every night. But I sure would like to see them caught and really handled. And I'll tell you what. You strike this deal with me, and I'll give you the three of them for $150.
So Stebby looks at Warren.
Warren gives you a kind of a why not shrug.
Sounds like something that I look at Zenmei and say, I've been known to persuade people to cease particular behavior. So sure, I'll take you up on your offer. 150 gold, 3 potions. And when I see you next, perhaps you'll have some more information on
That's what I want to hear. He reaches down in the glass counter and pulls out the 3 vials and puts them down.
When that was going down, what was Flint doing? Because Dempsey's still taking value of these guys. So he kind of got a beat on Stabby, kind of got a beat on Warren. So what were you thinking, Flint?
Flint's just kind of looking around the shop and just going in agreement with Stabby and Warren. I mean, we need to get a good deal on this potions, but we might be finding out more about what's going on in the nightlife of Belhaim.
And as he's making the deal with you, Stabby, and he sees Warren and Flint, he looks at you, Dempsey, and he's like, "I'll be with you in just a moment, sir."
And he just nods at him.
Just let me finish up with these 3 individuals.
We're actually together.
I'm sorry?
We all came in together, sir.
Oh, I just thought maybe you were 2 different. Well, I'm sorry. I apologize for my misjudgment there. Anyways, I really look forward to hearing the good news about somebody receiving some bad news. Please don't forget me.
We will not. Thank you.
And he bids you a good afternoon as he goes back to doing his daily routine as far as making other potions and drying more herbs and stuff, and making sure the spices are set out.
Are these potions, are these light, moderate, or serious wound curing?
Light.
Okay.
And that would be in the core rule book. So.
Yep. Just want to make sure what I'm buying, you know.
Yeah.
Sure, it's solid, you know.
Yeah. I've got these fresh cure serious wounds potions. Turns out they're light.
As we're outside, can I make a quick perception check of the foot traffic just around the area?
Sure. Please go ahead.
Mainly, what Flint's looking for is any kind of sighting of Arnold.
Perhaps you should look at the chopper.
Right. It's flying low. All right, give me 1 second. Here we go. I failed on this one. It's going to be a 10.
Yeah, you see like the normal hustle and bustle of people that be walking up and down the roads in mid-afternoon, but you do not see Arnold anywhere.
All right. Shall we go to blacksmith then? Bacchus's?
Yes.
Next step brings you to Bacchus's blacksmith. You could hear the hammers falling as you start passing by the Wise Piper Inn, and right across from the livery stables, you see Bacchus is instructing a few of his fellow half-orcs in what they're doing, and he turns as you guys begin to enter into the confines of the grounds of the blacksmith, and he looks at you and he goes, there's my flesh. I'll tell you what. He reaches behind one of the barrels and he pulls out this beautiful rapier. And he says, just like you asked for. You see that little crest you asked me to put in there for you? It's a thing of beauty. Remember me when you pierce somebody right through the heart with this thing, when you steal their life force. Just remember, I built this thing. I made this thing with my own hands. When you annihilate somebody and take the last breath from their lives when they're dying in the mud, remember, I made this.
You have such violent views of me, Bacchus. This is simply a
Do you have a
means by which
misconception of what I am?
This is simply a means by which I protect myself. What do you think I'm going to do with this? And Warren will take it and with a very skilled fencer's stance, make a few swings to test its balance. Kind of nod in agreement.
It's a natural in your hands.
You certainly know your craft.
Been doing it long enough. I'll see you boys next time. He goes back to the anvil and finishing up whatever project he's doing. This leads you back out onto Canticleer Road, where you know will take you to the bridge that will cross over the river and lead you to Hunclay's Manor as well.
And then I believe we are off.
So you guys make your way through town. It's about 1:15 at this point. You cross over the bridge over the Verdurin Fork River, and to the north you see Hunclay's Manor just standing like a lone stone edifice. You see basically it's like 2 stories, and then a third story is more of a dome structure, most likely for where he would view the night sky through a telescope, which, by the way, the eastern sky is now free of any obstruction now that the collapsed witch tower is lying in ruins.
So this is the place, huh?
This would be the place. Did the Baroness explain to you some of the recent going-ons?
She didn't tell me much. She just said you might need some protection. Seeing all this preparations got me a little bit spooked. I'm not going to lie to you. What do you think we're up against in here?
As I said, a man of modest magical talent with dubious intentions.
As you're telling him this, he's like taking off his cloak and just like getting down. It's like just his armor, and you can see
Getting down.
just getting down and
Just
getting ready
pumping out
for
a few
fight,
push-ups.
yeah, kind of loosening up his shoulders, and like as you guys are, surveying it, and he's just like cracking his neck and like cracking his hands, tightening his wrists, the wraps. If you look, he's got wraps on his hands. It's just like, all right, we'll be ready.
Well, Dempsey, if I might say, if it's anything like our last outing, it was no easy feat. Just keep your head on a swivel.
Kind of gives him the sailor salute with 2 fingers.
You see the door to Hunclay's Manor is once again closed. Deputy Mule is no longer there, nor is the Undertaker. You see that the dead kobold has been removed as well.
The caution tape off the door removed as
Totally
well.
off. You see the chalk mark is still on the floor. There's
Toaster Kabul.
Doc kobold. Tell me what you want to do.
Warren will hold a finger up to the others, and he will cast a detect magic spell, and he will actually spend a few minutes looking at the manor from the outside. Specifically, once I spend 3 rounds looking at something, so I know the strength and location of each magical aura. And then I can make a knowledge arcana check to determine the schools of magic. And,
From the outside, correct?
Yes, this is from the outside.
Okay. Sorry, listeners. So you cast it on this structure, and you see that it does indeed. The entire thing starts to glow. Glows a soft red. And you can tell that this is some kind of it's a evocation school of magic.
Oh. You guys see like
Though
Warren
it's
like
very powerful.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
That's
you guys see Warren kind of like make a gesture in the air. His eyes light up slightly, and he like stares at the manor. And then he'll like kind of like step a dozen feet to one side while looking at the manor, and then comes back and moves a dozen steps to the other side, and then comes back and turns around to you all and dismisses the spell, and he says, well, there's definitely an enchantment here, and I'm a little... It's just not often where one tries to protect themselves with magic that is likely to blow up.
But we've been in here once already, Warren. What is...
No, and while I understand that, we also did not interact with much in here. So any trap or anything like that has not gone off. So
yeah,
we just need to be careful and pay very close attention to anything that we touch and interact with. I would really recommend that I scan a room first, and so that when we do take inventory here, we can focus on the things that are not magical first.
So we've Warren, we've already been in 2 rooms on the eastern side on the first floor.
Western side.
Western, the southwest side of the first floor, and then the northwest side. You know, that seemed to be safe, but you believe that we have other dangers that
Oh, I'm sure that there are other fun traps. Magic users, and I'm sure you've at least heard of this, are a reclusive and suspicious lot, and we don't like people touching our things.
Stay
Well,
away
You
from
said
that
you said the house was protected by an explosive spell of some kind.
It is a let me put it this way: the magic that you've seen me use, and the magic that is protecting this house comes from the same school of thought, as it were. So I do not know whether it will be fire. If I find something that is a little bit more specifically enchanted, I might be able to tell more.
Make a
But
knowledge.
Arcana.
Yeah. Either knowledge arcana or knowledge history. Either one of them.
Flynn or Warren?
Either one of you. You can both make it if you want. Just tell me.
Holy shit. Arcana is a 26.
26. You remember that dead kobold had been basically cooked to a toast
Mm-hmm.
that had been left on the front porch there.
Yeah, and I'll bring that up to Stabby. You remember our first visit before we even went in. There was one of the kobolds had an unfortunate demise. That was likely what was the spells that I am seeing. I just am not certain how he set them off.
Okay.
Well, perhaps the house is not only meant to protect things from going in, but maybe it's also protected to allowing things to leave the manor itself.
As you guys are
Certainly quite
talking,
possible.
Dempsey gets up from his push-ups and he just like picks up a rock and throws it at the place. Any reaction?
No. It cracks against the side of the stone of these large stones that it's built from, and the rock itself kind of cracks a little and just ricochets back down, falls down. And it's not like anything comes from lightning bolting out, or fire doesn't rain down or anything like that.
Kind of like, I imagine
It
you
just
guys
sits there still
what the hell?
waiting
Yeah.
in all of its houseness.
And you guys are like, what the hell? And he's like, what? I thought it was going to explode.
All this fire talk felt like a sea ram was going to come out and
What? How'd you get in last time?
Oh, through the front door, but it's still, we were pressed for time, and I did not do nearly as much of an exam. Well, I suppose we should do this. And Warren will go up and take a deep breath and then pull open the door.
Wait, before you do that, can I do it?
Warren makes an after you gesture. Of course, if you'd like to experience any magic that might be there that I just
Kind
saw.
of like in the most polite way, he just kind of puts his hand on Warren's chest, like, please allow me. And he goes and tries the door.
And as the door opens up slowly, that is where we will end this session.
Okay.
Yes, we also have keys.
You did have keys.
He's this
We
whole
also have
time? You
keys.
didn't say anything?
Didn't ask.
Oh my
I
god.
just did. I just
Well,
did.
we have the keys, but the first time we came in, the door was unlocked.
It
I
was
would imagine.
unlocked. Yeah.
No, it wasn't.
It was
Oh,
blocked.
that's right. No, Stabby did his little roguey magic.
But it was more fun watching Dempsey peacock up to the door